This trail is just horrendous for obstacles. I think I've had to crawl over more logs in this trip than I have in my whole life, and I mean tall logs. But we're still making a day of it and having fun. We'll have plenty of stories to tell.
Well, good morning everybody. We're 6:30 a.m. here. We're just feeding horses, filling water troughs, getting ready to leave for a pack trip. My friend Todd and I are heading out for about 5 days on horseback into some new area we haven't been to before. Anyhow, I have a ton of people that says, man, I'd love to do a pack trip. I just don't know how, so that's why I started my how-to series on packing. And on this trip, we're gonna try to take some of those skills, put them to use. I'm gonna take you along on the trip with us and kind of walk you through the process, everything from campsite selection to grazing horses to feeding to what to bring, how to pack it. Unfortunately, my main mule here, Sally, she has a rash showing up. She's all covered in hives or something like that. She must have ate something that she's dealing with. It showed up about 2 days ago and it's getting better, so I don't worry about it. It's not life-threatening, but I'm not gonna take her up in the mountains and work her hard while her body's trying to fight this off. So we're taking this Palomino horse that I got here about 6 months ago instead. And yeah, hope you enjoy this one. I know it's gonna be a ton of fun. It's extremely hot out, but we're getting up high, so hopefully we can find some cooler weather and enjoy the ride. You guys remember Todd Brown from my high country scouting video? He's my partner in crime for most of these trips, so
Just keeps getting better looking.
yeah. What's the road going in?
I'm sweating like a nun in a cucumber patch. I'm scared. All worked up.
It's a little hairy.
It's a little hairy getting in here.
It's
Definitely.
there were some tight spots, especially down low. This is probably the better part of the trail going in. We've got room, but it's not very forgiving.
That's for sure.
So we're pulling a 20-foot stock trailer, gooseneck stock trailer, and it's all you want to do here. I wouldn't take anything any bigger. And if that wasn't worse, there's these, evidently it's a side-by-side trail riding day or something, because there's been about 6 different side-by-sides coming down off the mountain at a high rate of speed. And some of them, I wonder if they're going to get stopped in time, and then trying to get around them with this trailer. There's really not very many spots to pull off and get around each other.
They almost pinstriped the brush guard.
Yeah. All right, we're landed. Let's unload some horses. So I'm gonna make up a mani real quick. I got all my stuff manied up last night. Todd has all his stuff in some duffel bags, so we're just gonna throw it in another mani that up fast. He's gonna grab some horseshoe and stuff, and that way we got load for the other side. What size is you grabbing there, Todd?
I got some. Everybody wears aughts in here, so we're in pretty good shape that way.
Pretty nice.
I got to kind of shaped them for a front, and then I shaped some for a rear, so we don't have to do a lot of bending just in case. But we're not going to have that problem, so it don't really matter. If you bring them, you won't have the problem. If you
That's right.
Then you'll have the problem.
So another little tip for you guys up here shoeing your horses in the backcountry. We like to use size 6 nails. A lot of people run 5s, so 6ers are going to be just a little heavier. I just find it has a little more holding power, keeps those shoes on there just a little bit better. So for backcountry, rocky stuff like what we're doing, 6s are the way to go.
Your clenches will hold a lot better.
So what we're doing here, we're just making sure everything's loaded and equal in weight. So we've got 2 sets of manis that has our camp gear in them. One has all my stuff in them. The other one here we just did has Todd's stuff in them. We weighed them. They're both right at 69 pounds, which is about perfect. I think there might be a pound off from each other. With manis, that's about as good as it gets. And then these bags, we're just trying to get equal. So mainly we wanted to exercise horses. So we brought 5 horses when we probably only needed 4, a pack horse apiece. So we got an extra horse. What it just means is that we get to pack light. So we're making sets of bags. We got this little pack scale here. These are really handy if you guys don't have one. You just lift and it kind of shows you what they weigh, and you want to get your bags even weight. Weight is more important than size even. Although size does play a difference in play a factor. Yeah, yeah. So these are really simple. Since we have pretty light loads, we're basically throwing a 40-pound bag of feed, which is what they came in this time at the store. I thought they were 50s, but they're 40s. So we're throwing a 40-pound in each bag. On those 2, we're throwing a 40-pound bag in that one, and then in this one here, we're actually packing a soft cooler with cold beers because we can. And I got an axe and horse first aid kit and a handful of other stuff in that one as well. All right, I'm calling an audible here. We're gonna switch. I got 2 bags of feed manied up from just weight training for her, so we're gonna take those instead of an extra set of bags. Mainly because when the feed is gone, it's really easy to pack an extra set of manis. They weigh like nothing, and it gives us an extra tarp if we want to make some shade or something.
Should I bring that up a little bit?
That's a lot better.
I better bring this up a little bit.
Yeah, attach. I'll lift on this one so it doesn't just. There you go. And if you need to, bring this cross rope down lower. So here's what we've been trying to do. That he's got a really round back. Those rings of the saddle you want right down the dead center of his back, and they were tilted off to one side. So the packs are even. So we were just trying to get those straightened out, get this other one adjusted for size so they'll ride good going down the trail. So give that a rock, Todd. And we want those rings to come right back to center when he rocks it, which they do, so we're good. You'll see, I mean, they're not just gonna go completely to one side, but you'll see when you rock it, if they're canted to one side or canted to the other. Just imagine continuing that rocking motion as you're going down the trail, and it's just gonna work its way further and further that side, and you're gonna have a problem. So that's what you wanna do. Check them here at the trailhead, make sure they're nice and good before you hit the trail. It's really common to have to adjust something as you get about a mile down the trail because everything starts to work, settle into place, and the horses, usually need to be re-cinched up at that point a little bit because they've let out all their air. So that's pretty common, but we try to get as close as we can here at the trailhead before we take off. All right, just wanted to go over my riding setup here. I'm on my main horse, Dakota. He's who I'm riding. Going into the back country, I always want to take a saw. So I've got a 24-inch Fano saw here under my leg. Swap it when you buy it. If you buy these, they come with these short straps, which is fine for the rear, but in the front you want to swap it out for something longer because you want to be able to go up here around your horn, around your pommel, because that's going to be the strongest part of your saddle. So if this gets caught on something, it might, if you tie it into your cinturing of your saddle, it's just going to sit too low. So you don't want to do that. I like to have my the top of it up nice and high where it's free of his shoulder. As you can see here, with his shoulder, it's nice and free of that movement. Sits up above that, and with these underneath your leg, they're so thin you don't hardly even notice that they're there. So a couple other things I do. I do use saddlebags. I don't put a ton of weight in them. They kind of look bulky because I just got some things I'm going to use on the trail. I got some binoculars in here. I got a first aid emergency kit, and I got a water bottle and my case for my sunglasses. And then in my emergency kit, I got a lighter and some stuff if I have to. If I get stranded for some reason or whatever, I kind of got an emergency kit in here. I usually pack a first aid kit in there too, but I have my main first aid kit manied up, and I just have a little, if something bad happens, I can get out of a jam in here with some tape and gauze and wrap. It's kind of what I carry in my saddlebags. Here's another little tip. I trail ride and stuff like this. I ride with my halter on under my bridle, so then if I have to tie up to a tree and fix a pack or do something like that, I don't have to tie to my reins. It doesn't hurt him any doing that. I use a snap on there. Sometimes you'll see me, I just loop the lead rope up around the saddle horn. Sometimes I unhook it and throw it in my saddlebags. But you definitely want to keep your halter on your horse for these types of things. Who do you want in the front? Okay. Tie her in behind. Okay, chaining these things together. I did a video, if you guys want to check it out on my channel, on how to string horses together. But we have a rope going down to the cinch rings, this one right here, coming out between. And then we use a piece of hay twine as our breakaway. So if something goes awry, something gets in big trouble, this should snap, add a couple 100 pounds, and break off. Helps if your horses stand still. Still, they haven't done this yet this year.
Make sure you tell them, make sure you put that tail up.
Yep.
That's
So just put a bite through, tail up, then put a half hitch over the coils. Easy, mare. You all right? What'd you do, jump it? That's dangerous. Those are holes in the trail. Go check that out.
Oh, that's pretty.
Well, roll her out of the way, or can we step on her? Not quite. It's just a little trail update. It's been going slow. Lots of downfall, lots of bad spots to get through. Just kind of got to work the horse through it one by one. It's either that or do a bunch of cutting. So, and the bugs are pretty bad. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're making slow progress, but making progress nonetheless. Brush is so thick we don't even know where the trail is. There you go, buddy. That's a drop. Step. Good boy. Whew. Makes me pucker a little. How's it going back there? Yeah, buddy. That does make your ass grip the saddle a little bit. I don't know what will. Yeah. Man, it's been a little rough going here, trying to get over all the downfall. Had to cut our way through some, and the horses have been going over a lot. Yeah, it's a nice buck.
I don't know if you can't really see it on that computer as good as it is, I don't think.
Well, that was cool. Just saw a really nice buck in velvet. And just around the corner here, it looks like the lake is in sight that we're going to camp at. So that's really nice. You get it there, girl? There she is. Story of our trip right here so far. I think so. Here's the meadow we went into. Lake meadow. All right, we just found an awesome campsite right by this running creek. Water for the horses. And looks like somebody's been using it as a camp in the past, because that's one heck of a nice campsite. And we got some tired horses. They've been working their way through deadfall. Okay, another tidbit. We always try to put our saddles up on logs, keep them up off the ground, keeps the squirrels from chewing on the leather, and just keeps them organized out of the dirt. And I always flip my saddle pads over upside down to let them air out for the night. This is the one I just took off Senna. So I'm gonna flip that up there like that and let that air out, get dry overnight. All right, I want to talk about campsite selection for a second. So outside of your destination, when you get close, you're looking for a spot to camp. Like here, we were going to a lake that we wanted to camp at tonight, but what we were doing was we were riding around the outside of the lake, because the main thing we were looking for is some running water. It's really marshy as you get out there by the lake. Grass is really tall, but it's just marshy and swampy, and it's going to be a pain to get out there to that water. And the horses don't always like drinking out of stagnant water anyhow. Like a running creek is best. So this site is really good. Obviously somebody else has thought so too, because there's been existing camps here before. But we got that creek running into the lake right here, running right by camps. We got nice fresh water for the horses. We got a good flat spot to set camp. We didn't bring a tent this trip because it's nice out and I like sleeping under the stars, so we're sleeping on manis. And outside of that, I'm looking for deadfall. So look up and check the area around you. Make sure that there's nothing that's it's dead standing that's going to blow over and potentially come crashing down on you while you sleep. It's a real threat. So we're looking for nice green trees. It's hard to find a spot where there's absolutely no deadfalls, but as long as you got nice green trees between you and them, you should be safe. So for example, in this camp here, the thing I don't like is I don't really like that tree. It's leaning out right over this campsite here. So if that tree was going to fall, quite honestly, just judging by how it's sitting, it's going to fall right towards me here. So Todd and I are probably going to set our sleeping bags up over there, roughly where the horse is, which should be out of the path for that. The rest of these all look pretty good. I mean, they're dead on the bottom, but they're green up top. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Obviously, big dead snags like this that are leaning in the trees, you do not want to be underneath those. That'll get you in trouble. So right out in here, you can see it's really marshy, but that's that trail leading right back to our camp. And people have been using this, and it looks like it's actually pretty hard ground right here where I'm standing. Somebody's been watering their horses and stuff right here on the edge of the water, and that looks like it would work pretty well.
So we don't have to worry about having plenty of feed.
The horses are like knee deep in it. Check this out. Grass is so thick, it's like laying over, lodging. All right, day one is in the books. We got our bedrolls flung out. There's mine. Horses are being fed back there. You can see some eyeballs. Having a cold one. Calling it an end of the day. Well, good morning, everybody. It's about 5:30, and we're up and at 'em this morning. Just turning the horses out, letting them graze for a while. Got the Dakota horse is hobbled, and the yellow horse Senna, she's not going to leave his side. They're pretty bonded, so I didn't put hobbles on her, but I brought a set. So yeah, they're nice and hungry. So key to grazing horses here is when you see them pick their head up and start wandering, time to tie them up. That's a bunch of happy horses this morning. Looks pretty good. Out will ride nice. Nice balanced, high on her back. See what Todd's doing down here. Got those bags. We broke a set of straps yesterday on the bags, so just basket hitching those. We'll grab our manis, throw them on last. All right, we're loaded. We're just doing a quick walk around the campsite here. Make sure we didn't leave any garbage, trash, or other items of value. And looks pretty clean. So I think we're gonna hit the trail here. Everybody's loaded. String them together and keep going. On the trail again. It's been a good camp. Sure was a nice spot here. Escaping the 100-degree heat at home, and it's nice and cool up here in the mountains. Beautiful scenery. So stop right here out of camp, see if the horses want any water.
up back there.
Yeah. So we just got back up to this ATV road here, and trail we were on was crappy. So Senna hopped off the trail and tried to go around an obstacle, and it was a bog, and she sunk up to, I don't know, she sunk in there about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. I thought she was gonna get stuck. And anyhow, she about half sucked one of her shoes off, and there was only 2 nails holding it on. It was on there kind of crooked. So we're salvaging the shoe, and Todd found a flat rock. He's trying to get it flat again, and we're gonna see if we can reset it here before we go any further. So what Todd's doing there is using the edge of his rasp to help cinch the nails, seat the nails. And we did bring a crimper, so we'll bend them over, but that gets them to seat nice and tight. We're following this old mining road. At least it's clear. It's mostly river rock, so it's really hard on the horses. They keep sliding around, feet rolling on the boulders. It's all round rock, but at least we're not stepping over deadfall constantly. Oh, lunchtime, sitting here, found a shady spot, and just admiring the views. Is well, we found a new trail after riding up to the mine, and yeah, it's way better than the last. We're up here on top, a lot fewer trees, a lot fewer deadfall. We're not down in the bottom of the creek, so it's a little hotter, but we're not dealing with all the deadfall. And we're gonna go down, ride this for a ways, and see if we can't find some water to make camp for the day. It might be camp number 2. We'll see here. We're gonna go check it out. So all this torn up stuff, this is all elk tracks. They have been in here like crazy. Tearing it all up, playing in the dirt, mud and water. So let's get done going for a dip in the lake. All the horses are tired. It's nap time.
Well, today was rocky, hot. Actually, it was easier than yesterday. I'd say.
It's because yesterday sucked.
Yesterday sucked. I'm not gonna lie to you. It makes me enjoy my sleep system, and hopefully tomorrow's better.
Yeah.
Today was pretty awesome once we got up here, though.
So I got Todd set up with the sleep system that I use, and I think he's liking it. Oh, mosquitoes are horrible here. That's the downside about camping on a lake. So tonight I think we're gonna try to find running water to camp by. So we're gonna saddle up. I'm gonna switch that young Palomino horse of mine, Senna. She's doing awesome. I have to say she's been an arena horse her whole life. So this is the first time she's really been in the mountains outside of some trail riding I've done with her. And she's doing great as a pack horse. So today I'm gonna swap. I'm gonna ride her. I'm gonna pack my good horse Dakota and see how that goes. I think Todd's swapping horses as well as far as riding horses. The packs are getting lighter because we packed in some hay cubes. So everything's down below 50 pounds now. We've been shuffling their weight around to get them even. And yeah, so we're gonna saddle up, hit the trail. All right, so it's always good, even if you're packing with a set of bags, still put ropes on your pack saddles. So yesterday she hit a log and ripped the strap, literally ripped the straps, tore the bag off. Because we got ropes on our saddle, we can just basket hitch this, and we're not stuck without a way to carry it. So just like that. Now what I'm going to do is, because this side's riding way higher than the other side, is I'm probably just going to basket hitch both sides, which we've been doing anyhow, just so we can do a crow's foot and keep them from flopping. But as you can see, torn gear, still going down the trail. Keep ropes on your pack saddles. Just leaving our little oasis by the lake there, heading down the trail. Don't have to worry about water in this country. Well, it took us a while to get back here to them, but we're finally on the trail system that we were aiming for. Fairly deep in the wilderness now. Just never been here before, right? So trying to figure out how to get to them and what trails were, you know, some of them weren't cleared. It was just not quite what I expected, I guess. But that's kind of the fun of finding someplace new, figuring out someplace new. But man, once we're back here, this is gorgeous. Easy, girl. Shoot, this trail's nasty. Todd's trying to get out of her. Come on, girl. You know, I have to say, I'm tickled pink with this center horse. These are not easy trails, and there's a lot of obstacles, a lot of rock, deadfall to go over. And she's thinking about where she's putting her feet. She's not getting worked up. She's staying calm. I mean, she's just doing really well. And it's surprising. So she's 9 years old. She's been an arena horse her whole life. She's pretty fancy in the arena, but she's never been out here on the trails, really. And you don't find that very often. Unless they've done it, it's just, she's kind of got a natural temperament and mind for it, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. All right, found another camp spot for today. We called it early. We've only been on the trail for a couple hours, but Senna has a sore foot. So we're give her some Butte and sprayed some wound cleaner on it, and gonna give her the afternoon off, see if she can't heal up a little bit before we keep going. And we found a nice spot to camp here. There's running water just behind us, 50 yards or so, maybe not even that. It's kind of nice. Hopefully the bugs won't be too bad. We got nice shade, grass for the horses, and a nice level spot to camp. Looks like somebody's been here in the past because there's a campfire ring right there, and nice big flat spot. So, and we got the horses just been around here so you can see them. We got them tied up. There's like a little circle of trees here with an opening in it, so we got them tied up there. Looks like somebody else has also done the same thing. So that's one of the things about riding in wilderness areas. You're not the first person to do it. They've been around for a while. A lot of people have come in and camped before you. So usually the good campsites, there's evidence of a campsite. One more thing I want to show you guys. We brought these alfalfa cubes, and we just cut the top open, dipped them in the creek, just let those soak for a while. They're gonna absorb all that moisture. A little less risk of colic or compaction when you do that. Get some moisture in them, and it's not quite so dry in their intestinal tract. Well, I think we're gonna have to change up our route a little bit from the one I had mapped out. We stick with the route I had planned. We're looking at about 35 miles to get back to the truck. We got 2 more days to do it, which normally would be no issue. But with this mare, her foot injury, I just don't really want to do that to her. So there looks to be like there's another trail if we backtrack about 3 miles, one that cuts off. I didn't see it when we rode by, but we didn't look that hard. But we think if we take that trail, it'd be about 18 miles back to the truck. So that seems a lot more doable. We've been letting them eat and rest here for the last couple hours, and we'll probably saddle up this early evening and then try to knock off about 6-7 miles tonight back there and kind of see how she does. We're going to consolidate all the loads. Everything's pretty light because we've been feeding hay cubes out. So she's going to be carrying an empty pack saddle and not to put too much weight on it. Kind of a bummer, but I don't really want to lose this horse. She's just too nice of a horse to risk further injury. Okay, sweetie, let me see your foot. I got it sprayed with Blue Coat. She's a little tender on it here. She stepped on it right there on the back. Again, the purple's just the antiseptic that I sprayed on there. But I think she caught it when she got stuck in that bog and stepped on it with her back foot, or got it caught under a tree or something. She ripped her foot up and injured that. But like I said, I don't want to make it any worse. We're trying to take it easy on her. She's turned into a pretty nice horse. So, all right, we got everything condensed down to these 4 manis, which will go on the 2 horses that Todd's 2 horses, and we're going to take that mare out basically with an empty saddle. So that one over there, we just have all the bags. We just folded them up and manied them up with everything that was in them, one on top of each other. They were getting pretty light. So these are right around 65 pounds. This one's a little lighter, so I threw my axe on it to help balance out the weight. And these 2 are sitting right around 50 pounds a piece. That's Todd and I's gear bag and sleeping personal bags, whatever you want to call it. So, and then, like I said, we packed in a cooler, and cooler's in the bottom of this one with some hay cubes on top, and the last of our hay cubes, but we needed it for weight. So that's what we're doing, getting all the horses saddled. Now it's time to start loading them up. Heading out, we're backtracking a little bit here, see if we can find this cutoff trail that's going to shorten our trip up. This horse in front of me, if it looks like her right side pack is riding a lot lower, it's because it is. It's because it's a lot lighter. Left side one is heavier. So by lowering it like that, we're able to offset the weight, make them balance. Old Senna gets light duty, but actually all these horses are pretty light. We're running about 60 pound manis. Well, we're going to drop down into this drainage, and the trail looks like it hasn't been used in a long time, so we'll see. Wish us luck. Whew, that's a little steep. May not look like it, but that is steep. Nice and easy, bud. This is where it really pays to have a good horse. Yeah, that's not that bad. You're right. All right, bud. Come on over. Good boy. I think we got her. Wow, look at that drip basin we're dropping into. That's pretty. Well, here's the trail, if you want to call it such. Got into a little bit of a tough spot with old Holly horse here. She ripped two of her back shoes off. Well, one off and one almost off. So Todd's tacking those back on. I think that's just about all the nails we brought. This is, yeah, 2 on her and 1 on Senna, and we only brought enough to do 4 shoes, so we got 1 more, and I hope we don't need it.
Well, we're not going to have that problem, so it don't really matter. If you bring them, you won't have the problem. If you
That's right.
don't, then you'll have the problem. That was the scariest part. I'm glad we only have to tack on 2 shoes. Tell my wife I rolled her horse down a mountain. That would be a lot worse.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool. Just here getting ready to pump some water and do some water filtration, and this little spring here is coming right out of the ground where I'm standing. It's got a pretty good flow to it even. So it's kind of neat. And it's all grass around us in this meadow, and this just pops out of the ground here. You know, most of the time I don't like him being so buddy sour, but don't have to worry about him running off. He doesn't get too far from his lady friend. Good morning, day number 4 on our pack trip, and
The bugs are horrendous.
bugs are horrendous. Mosquitoes are horrible everywhere we've been up here. And so it gets you out of your sleeping bag in the morning when your face is tired of being bit, that's for sure. Thank goodness we brought some bug spray. That helps a little bit. It doesn't last 8 hours like they said it does on the bottle. I'm thinking it's more like 30 minutes.
I believe they lied.
Yeah, they might have lied. So got the horses being fed back here. Last of our hay cubes, so we're pretty light. I think we're coming out. Todd and I's sleep manis with all of our sleeping gear and stuff is about 50 pounds a piece. And then what's left is going to be, I don't know, maybe 2 40-pound loads. It's kind of nice. All the feed's gone. We had a horse getting a little bit of a jam yesterday. Didn't film it because we were all hands on deck trying to make sure she didn't roll down a hill. You saw Todd tacking 2 shoes on her last night that she ripped off in that process, or didn't rip off, but they were coming off. There's lots of rocks and roots and other things for them to snag on up here, so you make sure you bring a horseshoeing kit and some extra horseshoes and nails. It's pretty critical. So, but that, and with Senna's lame foot, she seems to be doing fine. I think it's a surface wound. I think it's just like when you rip your cuticle off, you know, it really hurts like hell. It doesn't mean your finger's broken, it just hurts. It's kind of what she's got going on. So little bug spray. Good job, Dakota. Spraying the horses down with bug spray. A can of DEET. That's all we have. But okay, we're leaving camp. Heading back to the truck today. You're limping a little bit, aren't you, girl? Give that butte some time to work and get her muscles moving. She'll be all right. Well, it's been a fun trip. It's a bummer we had to call it quits a few days early, but I think it was the right call. Got to take care of your horses. Didn't feel right doing that to old Senna when she had a bum foot. She's gonna heal up just fine though. I have no doubt about that. But might as well take it easy on her. Been a fun time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something or got something out of this video. Tried to make it a little bit educational for you. Yeah, we had a good time, and I'll catch you on the next one.